Tânisi and nitisan, my relatives. There's a moment in every real journey when the fire stops being something you're looking for and becomes something you're responsible for. At first we search for it. We look for it in teachings, in ceremonies, in books, in songs, in the words of people who seem to carry something ancient and clear. And that's good, because sometimes we need help remembering. Sometimes we need someone to point the way toward the flame and say, there, that warmth you feel, that is also you. But after a while, after enough prayers, after enough heartbreak, after enough silence, enough walking through weather that could have hardened you, something begins to change. You stop asking only, where's the fire? And you begin asking, how do I carry it well? Not loudly, not for attention, not so the world will call you wise, but so that when fear arrives, you do not become fear. So that when cruelty arrives, you do not become cruelty. So that when confusion arrives, you do not help it spread. That's part of the eighth fire too. Not just witnessing the light, but becoming trustworthy enough to carry it. Because a sacred fire is not only known by how bright it burns, it's known by what gathers around it. Does it make people feel smaller or more human? Does it feed performance or presence? Does it create heat without wisdom or warmth with clarity? These are the questions. Because not every fire is sacred, and not every voice that rises is meant to lead. Some fires consume, some fires distract. Some fires are built from outrage, vanity, and hunger. But the sacred fire, the one our old ones understood, helps people remember. Helps people remember how to sit together again, how to breathe again, how to speak without trying to wound, how to disagree without forgetting relationship, how to remain human in a world that keeps rewarding the opposite. That is a hard teaching, because it means the eighth fire is not out there somewhere waiting for someone else to build it. It begins here, in the way you answer, in the way you listen, in the way you carry pain without handing it to everyone else, in the way you refuse to let bitterness become your language, in the way you keep a place inside yourself where tenderness can still live. That is fire too. A steady fire, a grown fire, a fire that does not need to prove itself. And maybe that's what this time is asking for us now. not just to admire the teaching, not just to repeat the teaching, but to live in such a way that people feel a little less alone near us, a little less afraid, a little more able to remember who they are. Êkwa. Maybe that is how the eighth fire will spread. Not all at once, not in spectacle, not in noise, but from person to person, heart to heart, life to life, until one day the world changes a little because enough people chose not just to look for fire, but to become a good place for it to live. Êkwa say, walk gently.